Ah, the sweet, sweet ocean. She's an unpredictable little thing, but you know what? That's some of the stuff that we all love about her. That's kind of what brings everybody back to this channel every week, is her and her raw nature and some of the silly things that people will do out on the water. Welcome back, guys. It is your boy Broncos Guru, and this is this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. We have done something a little different this week, and we have collaborated with the Channel Wavy Boats. If you've never been over there, go ahead and go over and check his stuff out. They get a lot of great footage of boats coming in and out of Haulover Inlet. And you know what? All the footage for this week's episode is coming from some of his craziest moments. We're going to go ahead and dive right into this one. For many of us, one of our favorite parts of boating is getting out there with the family and enjoying that time we spend together. And for some of us, well, it's not quite the same. That's right. Right here, this kid must not be a big fan of his mother-in-law, and that's why she's in the front of the boat, because I can't come up with any other logical reason why, as they're coming out of Haulover Inlet, somebody would say, hey, ride in the front. It's going to be fun. You'll enjoy it. Even the husband behind her here, he thinks he's given her the ride of her life before. Well, now she's officially gotten it. Way to go, guys. I can't believe you got her up there. As many of you guys know, here on the Broncos Guru channel, we do our best to take safety as priority number one. And some people just do not follow that rule. This is another one of these scenes that the Wavy Boats channel has, where this gentleman was coming out of Haulover Inlet and he lost his inflatable tube. And instead of just leaving this thing behind, he's decided we're going to do a rescue attempt. But you know what? It's not enough just for him to do a rescue attempt. He's enlisted some people from the shore to try and do this as well. So in other words, we're not just going to endanger his boat. We're going to endanger some random strangers who are having a picnic up on the beach and try and get them involved in this as well. And now they're standing here on these rocks, and who knows what in the world could go wrong. All it takes is one large boat to come through with a nice sized wake to drag these people out into the inlet and bring them in harm's way as well. This one's a pretty slick move. But you know what? Not enough just to enlist these people on the shore. This guy has figured out he can't get this, and he's going to enlist some jet skis as well. Hey guys, come over here. Help me out. I need to get this $100 tube. Why don't you go ahead and take your $7,000 jet ski, run it up on those rocks and grab this for me. For some reason, these kids oblige, and I'm not sure why, but you know what? Finally, in the end, it is success. We got very fortunate here, and nobody was injured, and this guy does get his $100 tube back. This really can be one of the most dangerous scenes on the water. When you get some people into an inlet that have no earthly clue what they are doing and should not be there. These two people have entered Haulover Inlet on a two-person spark, and we're going to start there. Nobody should really think that a two-person spark is a two-person ski, especially when you'll see the kind of weight that these people are pushing right here. Anyways, this one gentleman here has decided he's going to help these people out after they floated upside down in the water for a few minutes. So this ski's pretty loaded up with water, so we're already going to be off balance having troubles. He gets them right-sided. One of the members of the crew of the Sea-Doo Spark get on board, and the second member, well, she's having a little bit of troubles. This guy is one of the most patient people I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what I would do, but one, we're back in the water again. And it's just an incredible scene that he stayed there and hung out this long. Finally, he got exhausted. His girlfriend gets in the water and tries helping these people out. And finally, the light bulb does go off after the next time the ski rolls over. Oh, well, maybe my Yamaha right here, which truly is a three-person ski, would be the better option. And he decides we're going to put the one small person on the Sea-Doo Spark, and I'm going to get everybody on this ski. And he finally does get everybody out of Haulover Inlet. But still, guys, if you're ever going to let anybody use a ski or rent a ski to anybody, at least show them the proper procedures on flipping it over and getting back on. Who doesn't love a nice catch and release off the coast of Florida? Well, in this case, it's a little different. This is a release and catch. These guys are coming out of Haulover Inlet as Wavy Boats is caught, and it's a little bit of a rough day, as most of you can see, and they have lost their dinghy. It has come disconnected from the rear of the boat. They even have an emergency safety line here, but just the rough waves, the pounding, and the torque of the boat pulling forward, it becomes disconnected. So there's only one thing left to do, and well, that's we're gonna go catch the dinghy. So these guys go back and they make their attempt at doing so. This is funny to watch. They are making several attempts of trying to toss a rope around the engine here. I can't understand what they're really doing. Right here, why somebody doesn't jump into the dinghy with the rope and just tie it off, or start the motor in the dinghy where they could have jumped in right there and go at it, is beyond me. Instead, we're going to play tiddlywinks with this thing for a little while. We're going to keep tossing some ropes and some lines out there and see if we can't get it back in. This is just a wild scene. Once again, anybody on this boat could have jumped in the water, climbed into the dinghy, either with a rope or started the motor if there's fuel and everything like that on the dinghy and gotten this thing pushed alongside. Once again, worst case scenario, still jump in with the rope and tie it up to the dinghy, pull it out to where it's a little bit of calmer water. As anybody knows, on the coast of Florida, when you're sitting here off of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, in that first few miles, it is the roughest. If they could tow this thing a few miles out, things would be a whole lot easier for them to get it back on board. As boaters on the coast, there are always conditions where we just say there's no way we would go out. And then we look at people like this and we say, why? Why are you out there, and what in the world are you possibly doing? This guy has went out and decided he's going to take his 13 to 15 foot dinghy and almost flip it over backwards coming out of Haulover Inlet. I don't know why he thought it would be a good idea to be out there in these conditions or what motivated him to do this, but he decides pretty quickly this was a bad idea and he's going ahead and turning this thing around and heading back in. I still can't imagine any reason why I would ever be out there in a boat this size trying to do this on a day like this. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Also, if you guys haven't, go follow us on Facebook or Instagram. And if you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterway, let us know over there, and maybe your videos will be featured in this video as well. Also, go follow Wavy Boats, who supplied all the footage for this week's video. He's got a great channel over there also. And if you haven't already, drop an anchor on the subscribe button here. If not, we are coming to steal your drain plug.